From the IMTV Wave Channel 5 studio at Greenville Senior High School, home of the Greenville Green Wave, the Greenville Veterans Memorial Park and Digital Library proudly presents Never Stop Serving. And now, your host, Mike Maloney.
Hello everybody, we're back again for episode 15. I know you probably saw 14 from Las Vegas. Here is episode 15 from Las Vegas. A past Nevada State VFW commander. We're very proud to present Stephen Gibbs. Here we go, folks.
Hello everyone, as promised, here we are in sunny, fabulous Las Vegas. And while we're here, we're going to talk to some wonderful veterans that are perfect examples for Never Stop Serving. I have with me right now Stephen Gibbs. Thank you very much, sir, for having us. He's the quartermaster of Post 10,047, and he's a past state commander.
Yes.
I'm going to let him take it away from here. Please, sir, tell us about yourself, your family, where you came from. Obviously, you live in Vegas now. And then tell us what you've done, through your family, through your life, your military service, and got a lot to talk about. Let's go.
Okay, well, I'm born in Chicago, Illinois in 1951, and also then I joined the United States Army during the Vietnam War, and then at the Army I took basic training at Fort Lewis Campbell in Tacoma, Washington, and then after that I went down to 101st Airborne Fort Campbell in Kentucky.
Y'all heard that, right? 101st Airborne.
And then after that, I went down to Fort Gullah, Panama for 2 weeks for jungle surviving school. Then after that, I shipped off to Vietnam in 1970. I was stationed in Phu Loy in 70, then in 71 during the Eastern Offensive in An Loc. I ended up being medevaced out of there after the helicopter got hit. And I fell out with full battle gear out of the chopper when I was paralleling out. I ended up going to the bottom of a rice paddy, got cut that off. And when I got up, I went to the burr and mortars hit, and then I got shot, flipped over. And then the medevac see me, they picked me up and took me to Long Binh in Vietnam at the MAC unit. I was there for almost 3 weeks. And when I woke up and stuff, that's when they shipped me to Japan, and then I had some concussions and dysentery, and then I had other problems. And then from there, when they shipped me back to the United States to Walter Reed Hospital, I was there for about 4 months. And then after that, then I was flown home, and then I ended up back home in Chicago. And then due to my family and the Veterans Administration in 1973, they did not have all the stuff they have today. And then from there I went to school and got my associate degree in criminal justice and criminal psychology.
Where did you do that at? What was that?
Oh, I did that in Chicago at Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
And then after that, then I went to Langley, and then I went to Washington, D.C., and I trained and I became a federal U.S. Marshal.
Oh!
Yeah, and then after that, I had my son Christopher, but he was an asthmatic, epileptic baby because of the Agent Orange.
Right.
And he died at 21, and he's buried here in Vegas. I got my divorce in '85 at that time. Then I transferred to San Diego, and I was there. And then in April of 1990, due to my injuries from Vietnam, I had a pseudohematoma and partial craniotomy of the right temple lobe.
Wow.
Yeah, and then from there, I got very active in the Veterans of Foreign Wars in California. Mm-hmm. I became a field service officer there doing claims.
What year was that when you got
involved? Oh, that was about 91.
Yeah, okay.
Then in 1992, I moved here to Las Vegas, and I was going to take a break. But then I ended up, I became the assistant department service officer for 6 years and did claims for veterans here at the outpatient clinic at that time.
Is this at the VA or at the... No.
At the Veterans Administration, an elder guy on Martin Luther King and Owens. Mm-hmm. It's now the Coxville building. Mm-hmm. And then from there, I became post commander, which you got pictures of, post commander for 2 years. And then from there, I got in the chairs with the military order Cootie, which is the honor degree of the Veterans of Foreign Wars.
Right.
And I was on that on the national level, which is called Supreme. I was on that for 3 years on the console.
Right.
And then as I moved forward in the VFW, I became state chaplain, and then I became state judge advocate, then state junior vice, senior vice, and state commander. And that was in 2005. In June I went in, and I went out in June of 2006.
That was for Nevada, right?
Yeah, for the state of Nevada.
Right.
And during my year and stuff, the department made All-American, which is where you make all the programs, membership 100% and stuff.
So you're
which
an
is honor.
All-American state commander.
Right.
Oh,
right.
congratulations.
Thank you. And then 2 is on the post level. I was commander two years
Right.
before that,
Right.
where I was as assistant department service officer. And then after that, I was on the National Legislative Committee for the Veterans of Foreign Wars, where I went to Washington D.C. in March and
Is that
September.
like National Council? Is that?
No. Legislative means I worked with our congressional people out in Nevada,
Oh, I see.
and then I worked on the National Committee for six years.
Right.
Then after that, I took a little break, but then they called me to help out, which I became just a 6th commander. And this was a couple years ago. And then after that, I stepped up and helped out the post this year as quartermaster. So now, taking a little break, but I'm on the National Veterans Military Service Program for 3 years for the National Committee.
Right.
And I'm doing the stuff with Nellis Air Force Base and the 421st Regiment of the National Guard Reservists on Range Road.
Right.
And what we do is I help when they come home from the war. We get the money and we buy the food and stuff and put that on. And then the stuff I do with the National Guard Reserves, I do the October festival for the Halloween party for the children.
Right.
And we bring our train that we have here.
Yeah, I saw that out
Yeah,
there.
oh.
We're gonna get some shots of
Yeah.
that. Don't worry, the train they're talking about, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna get some shots of it.
We go to the events like at the Armory 3 times a year with this, and then we go to, we got the
Take the kids around
we
on
got
the
the
train.
Veterans we got the Veterans Festival at the Craig Ranch.
Yep.
Here we go.
That's on Armed Forces Day, and they take the train there, and they got a big route that they do and everything. That's
cool.
And they pay for the gas and everything.
You got like a cargo thing there.
Oh yeah, and at the
The
booth.
train. We'll add it in.
And then I always do the Santa lunch with Santa for them. And then right now on this Saturday we're doing the spring fling.
What's the spring flame? What's that?
Oh, well, that's the thing that they do out at Range Road, also for the families and the children,
Yeah.
and for the troops and the veterans that are out of the service, and for the veterans that are active duty National Guard or Reserves.
Right.
And we've been doing a lot because a lot of our troops from the National Guard been going to the Sinai, to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Right.
Yeah, they've been going. And when they come back, we always do a big party, which National always gives us a grant for up to $3,000, which is through the Freedom Foundation,
Right.
which is for the military. So it's they cook. We got the train. We got music and everything else out there, which is great for them coming home and their families.
Right. Yes.
And then also too is we have quite a few members here that are part of the Patriot Guard that do the stuff on Thursdays out at their cemetery for the veterans that have no one.
Right.
And this post here is the largest post in the state of Nevada.
This one.
Yeah.
How many members?
We got 1,500 members. A majority of them are life members.
Right. Yeah.
And two is the one nice thing we have is the new veterans, the young veterans that are joining.
How you getting them?
They walk in, they sign up, and we do recruiting out at Nellis Air Force Base.
Yeah.
And the Veterans of Foreign Wars every year signs a ceremony, the National Commander-in-Chief, with the national organization, where we always sign an agreement to be able to stand for them and work for them, because our Washington, D.C. office at the Memorial Center, that we have a building there right across from the Capitol, and we have paid lobbyists, that are veterans.
Right.
And veterans that do the Board of Veterans Appeals and claims and stuff. And the Veterans of Foreign Wars, though, too, is the oldest congressional veterans chartered veterans organization in the United States. And it was started when the Rough Riders.
Right.
Yeah. And two is the past National Commander-in-Chief just won out. He's from the state of Nevada, John Stroud.
Right.
Yeah.
I met him at the convention
okay.
last year. Yeah.
Okay, and John was a member here at
Good
one
guy.
time.
Really good guy.
And in the pictures, he was my senior vice commander when I was state commander.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's right.
Where is that at?
Okay.
We'll get these pictures scanned and cut into the thing also.
Wait here. I'll show you. Sorry, people.
No, that's all right. It's fine. We'll be able to cut this out.
Oh, okay. Here he is. Here's John Stroud, myself, and Gil Hernandez.
So this picture here, IMTV is going to cut this in for us.
Yeah.
So that picture there he's talking about, that's John Stroud, past national commander. I met him
Yes.
at the last convention.
Right. And the thing too is we do have a lot of veterans that couldn't make it today, but they do a lot too.
Yeah,
You know,
there's all kinds of them.
Right, and and the one thing that's great is the Vietnam veterans. One of the legacy that we are most proud of is we finally got America since Desert Storm to take the war and the veterans separately.
Separately. That's absolutely right. Very important.
Because it took me almost 6 years, besides close friends and family, to know that I was a Vietnam veteran.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and everything that we look forward to is we're working very hard now with the claims, the VA, and with the shakeup that's going on.
Right.
And Congress and the House and stuff. The House and the Senate are looking forward to doing some more stuff for the veterans in the hospital.
Right.
Right.
And there's a program in Ohio. Maybe you've heard about it because I guess they're starting elsewhere. They're taking VA liaisons and checking Air Force bases, like if the Air Force doctors need practice or something like that, or there's not enough work, they transfer them from the VA.
Right.
And the VA takes some of that funding and gives it to the hospital.
To the hospital and stuff.
And it's been working real well at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base there in Dayton.
Right. And they do that in La Jolla for many years.
Right.
In
So
California.
at least they're thinking outside the box to try to do something here.
Oh yeah.
But the question always still is, how did it get this way anyways to start with?
Right. But the scary part is the young veterans that have served in Desert Storm, Iraq, and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Because they are coming down with Parkinson's disease,
Right.
and Lou Gehrig's disease, and a lot of other stuff. Because I got friends that are Desert Storm and Iraq veterans and Afghanistan veterans. Because I got a cousin that's in bad shape. He served in Iraq though during the push.
Yeah.
And America though, I just hope that when the Vietnam veterans are gone, they still work for the veterans. That's a big thing. And I know politicians talk good, but actually doing it is another thing. Yeah. And then the congressional people, a lot of them have their hearts in the right way.
Yeah.
But it's trying to do it step up is another way.
How do you feel about compared to? I think it's different. I think it's less. I think veterans are losing their political voice. I think we need to get back on that track. I just don't think we have the power we did at one time. What do you think about that?
Well,
you would know better.
Well, the big thing is we're starting to get more and more veterans in the House and the Senate.
Right.
Slowly, which helps. Because after World War II, you had more of them there.
Right, absolutely.
Veterans. And two is the way things are now. Is the bad part is we have to understand, and America has to understand, to take the political side away from when they vote. That's the big thing.
Right.
That's the big thing. And the veterans now have a lot more say as far as us veterans because we're willing to do a little bit more than we have done in the past for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we have problems with the Agent Orange. When I talk to the old veterans that did that when the Veterans of Foreign Wars, American Legion, the DAV and stuff too, the VA at that time was more, didn't think it happened. Jesse Brown, when he became the VA director, he was a member of the DAV and the VFW. He was a disabled Vietnam veteran. I got to be there when he spoke to the Senate committee when we're all there.
Stephen, first, I can't thank you enough for talking to us. Let us come here and meet with you and talk to you. Appreciate it. And thanks for everything
Oh,
you've done.
it's an honor too. It's an honor
Anything
too.
you would like to tell the people?
Yes, I just like to say is I'm more worried about my great grandchildren, and my grandchildren. So when you vote, remember, vote as your conscience say, but look forward to our children, because that's what I'm saying as a Vietnam veteran. I know my life has been good, my life will still be good, but I'm more worried about them. And that's all I have to say, America. Thank you very much from a broken down veteran me.
Thank you. Thank you again, sir, for Never Stop Serving.
Okay, you too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for watching. Please visit us on our social media sites. Please consider contributing to our mission in some way. Also, we are always looking for veterans and their families to share their stories with us. Be sure to join us next week for our next episode of Never Stop Serving.